need them. Yes, we do. I'm just glad we have them. Those strategies.
That's right.
That's strategies for living, that is. You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
I am ready today. I am excited.
I knew you were going to be excited today. Yeah. Hey, folks, you're going to be excited, too, when you find out what we've got in store today. Welcome in. Welcome into 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. Welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillan, and she is psychotherapist, PLPC Lauren Leon McMillan. How you doing?
I am doing well.
Well, you know, all I've got to say about that is holy Frit. You're not gonna jump on me?
No,
because you know
I know where that's coming from.
You know where it's We'll learn more about
and what Frit is, right?
And hopefully. Hopefully. I've always loved, Lauren. I have always loved stained glass.
Yes.
You know,
as have I.
It's been ever since I was a little guy, and the church where I grew up only had. It was actually built as a temporary church, and so it only had 2 stained glass windows in the in the altar area. But then later built the quote unquote new church and put a lot of stained glass in it. And you and I attend a church downtown that has got some historic stained glass windows.
Yes. In fact.
What if there was an order that came in to make the biggest stained glass window in the world? Who could handle that?
Well, I know a fella.
You know a guy?
I know a fella, I think.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of neat because there's a story about this, and this is a true story. It's coming up Wednesday at the Robinson Film Center, and we're going to talk to Eric Allen, who is proprietor, owner, just an extraordinary
artisan extraordinaire,
stained glass artist at Ed's Emporium, an art glass studio over in Bossier City. And what a story he has. We're going to learn about a lot of we're going to learn about a lot of stuff this evening.
Yeah, art and life and how it all intertwines and creates our stories.
Fits together? Yeah, well, holy Frit. We are, buckle your seatbelt. We're coming back to meet life strategist Eric Allen, who is bringing Holy Frit to the Robinson Film Center this coming Wednesday. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, tomorrow evening. We'll talk about that. And we appreciate you being here with us here on Strategies for Living. We're presented by the Robinson Film Center and by Azalea Cleaners and by Learning RX and by Pintail Roofing and by the Balanced Life Wellness Center. Back in a moment to meet Eric Allen from Ed's Emporium here on Strategies for Living. Stay right where you are.
Hi, this is Jay Merle for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
And And welcome into 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan. Let's bring into the program our life strategist this evening. He is the proprietor at Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio, 2200 Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. You can find him hanging out there. And I'm not going to give a lot of introduction today because really, what a story Eric Allen has. He grew up here, was here from 6 years old on until he left. And he was one of those unique people, thank goodness, that came back. He was in the telecommunications business and doing well, and came back to help his 80-year-old parents. We're so glad that he stayed. Eric Allen, welcome to Strategies for Living.
Welcome.
Good evening. How are y'all?
We're doing great.
We're excited to be here with you.
Yeah, excited about what you're doing. Now, tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center, 6:30, is a showing of Holy Frit. Now, I thought I was going to stir Lauren up, but I think she did her homework.
I'd already seen the trailer.
Knew what Frit was, so I didn't get her. What is Frit in the art glass what is Frit in that world, Eric?
Well, it is ground up glass. They take it and they grind it up, and then we use it to paint with. We use it to draw with. And this movie uses it to make a stained glass window with.
So what a story this is. The movie is Holy Frit, and you're bringing it to the Robinson, right? You're bringing it to tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 6:30. And this is an incredible story because it's the world's largest stained glass window. It's a massive stained glass window of Jesus, right?
Well, it actually is the whole story. There's a whole story to it. There's a lot more than just Jesus in that window.
Yeah, I would say.
There is. I don't know if you've seen pictures of the actual window itself. If you look up online, resurrection window, you can find a picture of it. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. There are 70 different individuals in that window. Wow. And that church wanted them in it for reasons. Yeah. I actually bought a book that's called The Resurrection Window just to help explain it.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
So the movie it centers on this fella, Tim Carey, who's a very talented but unknown artist out in L.A., right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he was actually working for a stained glass company called Judson Studios, drawing and doing a little bit of painting and a little bit of stained glass.
Right. And he bluffs his way into winning the commission to create the largest stained glass window in the world. Did he? What was he thinking?
Well, he was thinking big, for sure. Yeah. As a lot of artists do. Sometimes we bite off a little more than we can chew, hoping that we can bluff our way through it and create something cool. And, you have to watch the movie, but I think he did it.
I think he did it, yeah.
And the movie is an extremely entertaining. Would you call it a docudrama? What would you call it? What would you call this? What would you call this?
Well, it's kind of an art documentary. Tim Carey is quite funny in the movie. I think he is funny just because he's so stressed out about trying to build this window. The bad thing is they told them that it would actually take 10 years to make that window, and they needed it in 3 years.
Wow.
So it turned into, how are we going to do this?
Yeah. So now this was the church, and this was actually a Methodist church, but a mega church. It was already a mega church, and they decided to expand the church, and they needed they needed something.
Yeah, they wanted to build a new sanctuary, and they wanted a 100-foot by 40-foot stained glass window.
Wow. Jeez.
Which is, if you think about it, that's about the size of a basketball court.
Right.
My goodness. Jeez. So now, part of the story is you get to meet in the movie a world famous maestro of stained glass, right? I hope I'm going to say his name correctly. Narcissus Quagliata. Am I saying that correctly?
You are saying that correctly. He is Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So, did Narcissus? How did Tim find this guy to come to the rescue and help out?
Well, really, Tim, I think actually Judson Studios had worked with Narcissus times. Let me give you some backstory on Narcissus. So back in the day, Narcissus wanted to be able to do watercolors in his stained glass windows.
Right.
And so he was getting glass blowers to make glass for him, but he really wanted to do it himself. He hated to have an interaction with somebody else to do something that he wanted to do. And so he got together with a company called Bullseye Glass, who also is part of it, does work with Judson Studios a lot also. And Narcissus actually created Frit.
Wow.
So this gets a little deeper. He had actually done a window in Taiwan called the Dome of Life, which is really incredible in itself. So I think they kind of knew that it could be done, but they needed to figure out how to do it. So here's the deal. They knew they couldn't do a traditional style stained glass window.
Right.
And when we say traditional style stained glass window, it's like what you saw in your church when you were young.
Yeah.
Right.
You look up at the windows and it's painted. There's depictions of scenes in the Bible, which,
right.
The one reason why stained glass was done in the first place was to tell stories.
Right.
Most people couldn't read, so being able to show a picture of something was a lot easier to tell a story about it.
Right.
Well, so, it's all kind of tied back together. The stained glass, it takes a lot of work to paint things. And that's where it would have taken them 10 years to create what they were wanting, because they were going to cut all the pieces of glass out, paint them with the images, and then you have to fire it. You have to put it in the kiln and heat it up so that the paint becomes part of the glass,
right.
And then you put it back together.
Wow.
And the technique that Narcissus is using was basically, we call it fused glass.
Mm-hmm.
I teach some classes where we do that.
I've actually taken one before.
You have?
I have. I've made a bowl with you before.
Oh, well,
and I would definitely
recommend. So you know all about this.
Yes, a little bit.
So you know all about this. Yeah. And you know what our main goal is here, right?
Your main goal?
Yeah. If you came to one of my classes, you probably know.
I was a kid.
It's to have
well,
fun.
I had fun. You made it.
Well, that's exactly, and every time that's one of our most important things that we tell people when we first get started is, if you're not here and having fun, you have to leave.
I love it.
We are here to have fun, and that's the whole thing.
And that's the deal with tomorrow night's movie, Eric. I mean, the whole thing looks like a tremendous amount of fun. Now, you're going to do a Q&A.
Yeah.
Before
so actually I have been taking classes from Narcissus.
Oh, wow.
I've been taking online. So after built this window. He's 85 years old.
Right.
He decided that he needed to get this knowledge out of his head and onto video somehow, so that we could share this knowledge.
Yeah.
His daughter is actually a producer who does videography and stuff. So he conned her into helping him. I don't think she realized that it was going to go as long as it's going, because I'm actually in my 3rd year of it now.
Wow.
I'm taking my sixth and final class with him.
Wow.
And we have gone through crushing glass. Let me tell you why I got excited about it. Taking classes from him was because I saw this movie and I realized that I can tie my studio together. You know, my mom and dad started this studio in 1981. When my dad went to buy some glass from a guy, and this guy said, "Look, I'm not going to sell colored glass anymore. If you want this, you need to buy it." And my dad said, "Well, I can't afford to buy it." And he says, "Well, I'll finance it for you." And so in 1981, my dad had to get he basically became Ed's Emporium Inc.
I remember
bought the glass.
I remember when the studio opened up, when your dad opened it up. I was in the radio business. As a matter of fact, I was an account executive at Keel Radio. And I remember well when Ed's Emporium launched in 1981. We're going to get into that story when we come back. But tomorrow night, folks, you need to be at 6:30 at the Robinson Film Center. This is going to be, well, yeah, Eric said it. The whole thing is about fun, and Holy Frit tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center.
And the story and the art that makes it all.
The story and the art and the fun, and it's all there. Eric is going to be doing a Q&A along with the movie. It will be perhaps your only chance to see Holy Frit. Robinson Film Center, 6:30 tomorrow evening. And we're coming back with more. With Eric Allen, we're going to learn the story that he started to tell us about the launching of Ed's Emporium. It's a story in and of itself. Much more to come, much more to learn here this evening on Strategies for a Living with Eric Allen. We'll be right back. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center. You know, I say it a lot. There's no place like the Robinson.
Absolutely, there is not.
617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. You've got so much. You got the movies. You got Abby Singer's Bistro on the second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday.
Newly remodeled.
Absolutely. Great menu. RobinsonFilmCenter.org is the way you check it all out. You can go to RobinsonFilmCenter.org at any time and find out what movies are showing. Here's the deal. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. When you become a member, you become a star. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. I'll say it again. There's no place like the Robinson.
There is not, and I'm glad we have one right here.
Absolutely. The RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with Learning RX Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, Learning RX Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call Learning RX Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does Learning RX Shreveport.
And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, talking about if you're not busy tomorrow night, or even if you are busy,
this is important.
This is important. 6:30. Be at the Robinson Film Center because you're going to see a great movie. You're going to meet Eric Allen. because he's going to be doing a Q&A. You're going to find out the movie is Holy Frit, and it's a story of the creation of the largest stained glass window in the world. And
it's not too far from here.
Yeah,
when you think about the world.
Yeah, when you think about the world,
yeah.
Where is this window actually residing, Eric?
It's Leawood, Kansas, which is like an outskirts of Kansas City.
So it's not too far away. Yeah.
No, it's not really. And in fact, they give tours. I think they actually charge for them, which I think they're trying to pay the window off.
Well,
still.
And
actually the book that I had mentioned that I had, it was like $29, and it went towards the church to help them cover costs. So
you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you're going to build the largest.
You definitely do.
The largest stained glass window in the world. You got to pay for that, baby. You know.
Yes, sir. Yep, you do.
And tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center, you're going to be totally entertained. You're going to hear that story. You're going to learn a lot about stained glass, and you're going to get a chance to ask Eric Allen from Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio in Bossier City. And by the way, edsemporium.com is the website if you want to find out more. Now, you were just coming. You were actually in the telecommunications business. Your parents were in their 80s. You came back 15 years ago to you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to help mom and dad wrap this thing up, right?
Yeah, I figured I would come probably hang out. I thought I was taking a sabbatical for a year. In the communications business, it goes fast, so I wouldn't be able to get back. If I waited longer than a year, I would never be able to catch up. To get back into it. So I thought, okay, I needed a year off.
Yeah.
I was burnt out.
Yeah.
I was ready to take a break, and so I decided I would come back and try to help them close the place down. So when I got here, a couple of first things I realized is Daddy wasn't teaching glass anymore. They weren't really making a whole lot of money. Kind of one thing led to another, kind of hanging out with them. Not many people actually get to hang out with their parents their last 9 years of their lives and learn and see what they're doing.
What a blessing.
My mom and dad were having fun. They weren't making a whole lot of money. Everything they did, they put back into this business.
Yeah.
I just, I kind of fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I got my dad to start teaching some classes again so that I could watch him. So I have a lot of back history. After high school, I worked for Domino's Pizza. I actually went to train to trainer, and I was a regional trainer for Domino's Pizza at the time.
Oh.
So I have some training background. So I thought, I'm going to watch my dad do this stuff. I did a little bit as a kid. My mom and dad would go to shows and like Minden, or actually they did to do the Red River Revel. My dad did, and that was prior to Ed's Emporium. It's like the second Ed's Revel.
Yeah, he did the early revels, didn't he?
Yeah. And in fact, back then they didn't pay. If you were an artist and you would come and do your work there, you were able to have a booth and sell.
Yeah.
And so that's what my dad did, and that's kind of what helped build up our studio. And in fact, the cool thing is now I have students that have booths at the Revel.
Everything comes full circle, right?
It does come full circle, and people ask me, says, why don't you do the Revel? And I'm like, well, I have a store.
Yeah.
I have a studio that already does that. And I sell retail glass and supplies to these people. Actually, if you own a business and you're a glass person, I give you a deal.
Yeah.
I need you to help me afford to keep this place going.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to compete with them. So there's lots of them. If you see stained glass artists in markets around here, just look and make sure they're from Shreveport, Bossier, because there are some that aren't.
Right.
And then make sure you buy something from them, and tell them Eric told you to, because they're who keeps me going.
There you go. There you go.
And they bring students and they bring money back into me. But so back to the story. I just thought I would hang out here for a year with my parents, and I just kind of realized that, if I get Daddy to teach a little bit, maybe, they did it for 25 years. Maybe I could keep it going somehow. Figure out a way to make this place make money, because for them it was just fun and it really wasn't a money making object. For me, unfortunately, I have to pay health insurance and a house payment, and my wife won't let me do it for free. So, I needed to figure out something else to add to it. I got in with a group. We are called Retailers of Art Glass Studios. It's RAGS, RAGS. And they are a bunch of retailers around the United States that own glass studios like this.
Right.
And every year we go to somebody else's shop and we learn what they're doing to survive.
Wow.
Unfortunately, 30 years ago, there was a stained glass studio in every town, and some of them 2 or 3.
Right.
And then over the years, you're going to drive 200 miles to find another studio like this.
Right.
It's just, unfortunately, they were owned by people that would be my mom's age, my mom and dad's age, which would be 100 years old now.
Right.
And nobody chose to take them over and keep doing it, so they just disappeared.
Right.
And so, I got with them. I started, the first one I went to, I learned how to do fused glass, which is melting glass together. And I brought that back to the studio and started adding classes. The next year I went, somebody was doing a thing called glass globins, and they were torch-blown ornaments. They are German. And I thought, wow, that's something pretty cool. And so I tried it. And actually, it's probably my most favorite thing to do now when I teach, because generally when I teach a stained glass class or a fused glass class, I'm not making anything. I'm teaching somebody else how to do it. But when we do glass globins, you have to know how to figure it out. So I get to actually do the work.
Yeah.
So bringing those classes in kind of helped start bringing people into the studio and seeing what we were. So we do what we call walk-in fusing. Anytime we're open, you can come in and do a project. So, this kind of gets back to you guys. You're not whole unless you can release some of that craziness out of your life.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Coming in and putting together a glass project, we'll do it every time. You don't have to think about anything. You just play with the glass. You break it. I tell people, when you learn how to cut glass, it's kind of like going to one of those places where you throw hammers at
the rage rooms or whatever.
The rage rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is even better because you can break the glass and it breaks exactly like
and you get something really pretty out of it.
Yeah.
It takes the stress out of you pretty quick.
Which is a metaphor, if you think about it.
For life.
For life.
I mean, what we do with our struggles, right?
Yeah, we struggle and we have the, all of that. And then if you hang around long enough and you work with it long enough, you get something really pretty out of it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's about the being able to break it and put it back together.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it all.
Wow.
Yeah, well, and in stained glass, you bleed a little bit, but sometimes, you just put a Band-Aid on it and you finish it off, and it's, all my projects have a little bit of me in them. I promise you that.
I love it.
Because it's part of it.
Right.
It's just, glass is sharp, and it happens. Generally, getting cut is not something that happens on a daily basis. Usually it's just because you didn't clean up after yourself and you left the little piece laying around and you poked yourself with it. So, it's not something to be scared of. I have kindergartners come in and make night lights. And if they can do it, I can promise you, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can come in here and have fun and do it. Absolutely. And so this group, the group that I was talking about, they basically helped me come up with ideas And, I tell them every time I go to one of these meetings that if it wasn't for them, this place wouldn't still be here because I wouldn't have known what to do to make this place survive.
Right.
Yeah.
We went from
figured it
Ed's
out.
Emporium's. Yeah, we went from Ed's Emporium stained glass studio, and I realized when I took it over, I needed to kind of change that metaphor from stained glass to art glass.
Right.
Because we do more than just that.
Yeah.
I love stained glass. I also like fused glass. And then I actually have a girl here who helps, and she also teaches a glass mosaic class.
Oh, wow.
That we also teach.
Cool.
Now, you guys do private parties too, right? I mean, people can book.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we
private
do. Now, we
parties.
don't do, and I tell people, I'm not equipped to do a huge amount of people. I'm a craft studio. I'm not an event center like some of these other places are. I'm going to teach you how to do it. You're going to do it all yourself. we're going to show you what to do, but it's going to be your project. It's not, I'm not going to stand over there and cut the glass for you and put it on a platter for you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to show you what to do, and then you're going to do it. And you do. So with that, as a private party, we generally try to get everybody to do the same project, which makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
We can do up to about 16 people, but I'll tell you, I have a group that comes from Barksdale, the youth center out there, and they have 32 kids, and we do 12. We split them up. We split them up between 3 days, and they're perfectly happy doing that. And it's good for us too, because I've not got a really big place, and I want everybody to have a good time.
Right.
Absolutely.
Getting 30 people in a building, that was kind of going back to this when Daddy first started. He went to the Broadmoor Y to learn how to do stained glass, and really the only thing he got out of it was how to cut glass. There were 15 people in the class, and there was one teacher.
Wow.
And it just, I want people to get more out of it. For me, this is my living. If I don't teach you how to break and cut glass correctly, you're never going to come back and buy glass, because you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to want to do it.
And yet the reason that Ed's Emporium is still open is because obviously you've done that, Eric Allen.
Yes.
And we're talking to Eric Allen from Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio, and we're talking about the movie tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center. Holy Frit, 6:30 at the Robinson. You want to be there. More with Eric Allen today here on Strategies for Living in just a moment. Stay with us. Dealing with stress, pain, feel like you're running out of options? When your life is balanced, wellness is a given. True wellness is holistic. It's about the mind, the body, and the spirit, all in balance. Now, there's a place right here in Shreveport that's all about helping us achieve peak mental, emotional, and physical health. The Balanced Life, 117 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. Come see and feel the difference getting your life in balance can be. Many of your friends and neighbors have already learned the difference less stress and pain mean in their lives. You can book a discovery session right now online, thebalancedlife.us. All you've got to lose is stress, pain, or maybe both. Come see and feel for yourself the real difference balanced wellness makes. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, 117 Kings Highway in Shreveport, next door to Strawn's, thebalancedlife.us. And welcome back in. Welcome back into 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, with Eric Allen from Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio, 2200 Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. EdsEmporium.com is the way you learn more. They do commission work. They do walk-in fusing projects, gifts. There's cabinet door glass. There's glass sandblasting. There's wholesale supplies and retail supplies, and they do repair and restoration. And just if you have not checked out Ed's Emporium in Bossier City, 2200 Barksdale Boulevard, Bossier City, you got to do that. And one good thing you can do, you won't be at Ed's Emporium, but tomorrow evening go to the Robinson Film Center, 6:30. And if you are at all interested in being entertained and learning just a little bit more about stained glass, or if you're into stained glass or art glass at all, what a movie this is. Holy Frit, tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center. It's a 3-year race against time. Tim Carey, talented unknown artist, bluffs his way into winning the commission to create the largest stained glass window in the world. And he's got a race against time. They won it in 3 years.
And they won this over 60 other studios that actually put bids in.
Wow.
So there was a lot of competition for this.
Wow. Well, and from you can go and you can look at the way. And I hope people will come to the movie tomorrow evening. You'll see the whole. You'll see it in progress. You'll see it built in progress, and you'll be entertained all along the way. As you are, you heard Eric Allen say, if it's not fun, we ain't doing it, right, Eric?
That's it. That's it. Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun.
Yeah. Well, obviously you have done a lot right, and I know your parents have got to be smiling. Of course, in Ed's Emporium logo, there's that mustache, and if folks didn't know your dad, they may wonder what that mustache is doing there.
Well, and that was his trademark for sure.
Yeah.
When he got out of the military, he was so ready to get out that Mom let him grow that mustache. And he never trimmed it after that. So that was all mustache hair.
I love it. I love it. Well,
now, I didn't tell you this, but I actually have. Everybody kept asking me, you're taking the shop over. Are you going to grow that mustache? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I grew up with that mustache, and I wasn't. I didn't really care for it.
Right.
But I do have a mustache a tattoo mustache on my arm. So
there you go.
I knew I had to do it one way or the other. So,
what do you think Mom and Dad would be saying to you today about what has happened? They were so happy that I at least took the interest in it. Mom and Daddy had tried for years to try to find somebody to take the shop on. Right.
They had put a lot into it, and they were pretty excited. And they were proud. They were proud for me to do it.
Yeah.
And I was more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
They hang out with me every day up here. I feel like they're hanging out all day long. There's things in this shop that remind me of my parents every day.
Yeah.
And I tell people, when I'm building a stained glass window and I put a bevel in it upside down and realize that it's upside down, I can hear my mom. You have to fix it. Mom was the quality control in this place. She was the director.
Yeah.
And she actually had a chair that said director on the back of it. So she kept my dad straight. And when I got here, she was designing. She was picking out the colors for him. Daddy was a good craftsman. But Mom was... it never should have just said Ed's Emporium on the sign. It should have said Carolyn Ed's Emporium. But Mom took a back seat and became his agent, and then became his artist, and then she became the designer. And it was really Mom's work.
Yeah.
Daddy was just building it for her. So it was pretty cool. When I got here, they had it all figured out, and all I had to do was watch.
That's so cool that, what a story, Eric, that you can kind of hang out with your folks every day.
Yeah.
That's just so cool. And,
And the lasting impact you've had on our community, is amazing.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, there are a few stained glass artists in this area, and there's a lot of all of them. In fact, when COVID hit, a lot of, it's funny, cycles go about 3 years in a type of art. And, after 3 years, generally you start not seeing them too often anymore. But, man, when COVID hit, I had so many people that my mom and dad had taught, so many people that I had taught, calling, wanting me to draw patterns for them, send them glass so that they could have something to do at home.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they wanted something to do, and they already knew how to do it. And, I was excited because it really actually, if that wouldn't have happened, we probably wouldn't have made it and survived through COVID because, I was pretty much shut down. We had just started teaching really big 16 people classes, and then COVID hit.
And then COVID hit. Wow.
So, yep. And then we fought all the way back. We're back to full-fledged having a good time now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
We're definitely having fun.
Yeah.
At Christmas time's coming up, so that is our big season. We do lots of Christmas projects. So if you you can go on our Facebook page, which is also Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio. We've got a Instagram page, the same thing. But on our website, you can go on there and sign up for our newsletter. We send one out about every 2 weeks. That kind of keeps you abreast of what classes we're teaching. Again, we teach like a 6-week stained glass class. We teach a 3-week basic fusing class, which basically teaches you the art of fused glass. And then we also teach a 3-week mosaic class. And
all of that, you can find all of that at edsemporium.com.
You got it.
There's an event calendar there. But tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 6:30, be at the Robinson Film Center. Of course, we all love the Robinson, right?
Yes.
I mean, and that's one of the beauties of the Robinson Film Center, to be able to host events like this. I mean, none of us would get a chance to see Holy Frit, which is an award-winning movie, by the way.
And in a way that brings the community together.
Yeah.
Reminds us of who all we're surrounded by.
Yeah.
Well, I have one other thing I need to tell you, though. My brother is Bruce Allen.
Yes.
Well, Bruce Allen and Jeff Hendricks started the Robinson Theater from the Centenary Film Society. Yeah. So, we all have a little bit of art in us. My brother's got a whole lot of art in him, which is pretty cool. And that was kind of where it started. My brother had gone to Centenary, and that was about the same time that my parents started the stained glass shop.
Yeah. Holy Frit, tomorrow evening, Robinson Film Center, 6:30. You'll see Eric Allen there. He'll be doing the Q&A. You're going to watch a wonderful movie, Holy Frit. You're going to see the largest stained glass window in the world and hear about the race against time. All tomorrow. Holy Frit at the Robinson Film Center. See you there at 6:30. Be right back with Eric Allen here on Strategies for a Living. Stay with us. You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com. And welcome back. Welcome back into 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan with Eric Allen from Ed's Emporium Art Glass Studio, and bringing tomorrow evening to the Robinson Film Center a great movie. We all need to be there. We'll see you there, folks. Tomorrow evening, Holy Frit, 6:30, the Robinson Film Center. You're going to see a great movie. You always see great movies at the Robinson Film Center, but you're also going to get to be to do some Q&A with Eric. You're gonna find out more about one of the features in the program, the world famous maestro of art glass and stained glass, Narcissus Quagliata, and it should be a lot of fun. So 6:30 tomorrow evening. Eric, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for what you have done. We owe a gratitude to your folks, obviously, but here you came and built on it, and so we owe a tremendous amount of gratitude to you to keep this going. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate it. And again, it's fun. So we'll just keep on going.
There you go. Thank you for being a great life strategist. I don't know if you've ever been a life strategist before, but now you have.
Well, I didn't think I was, but I guess I am.
Absolutely are.
You earned your certificate. There you go. Tomorrow evening, folks. Tomorrow evening at the Robinson Film Center. Meet us there, 6:30. Holy Frit. What a great little movie, and you're going to meet Eric Allen and a lot of other talented people. Folks, thank you for tuning into Strategies for a Living. We appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate our sponsors making it possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Learning RX, Pintail Roofing, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Lauren Leon McMillan and for Eric Allen, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for a Living.